In programming, both for loops and while loops are used to execute a block of code multiple times. However, they are generally used in different scenarios based on whether you know the number of iterations beforehand. Here's a breakdown of their differences in layman's terms. For loop, think of a for loop like a pre-planned journey with a clear number of stops. When to use it? You use a for loop when you know in advance exactly how many times you want to repeat something. How it works. You tell it, start here, go until this point, and take this many steps each time. It handles all the counting for you. Analogy. Counting to 10. For every number from 1 to 10, shout that number. You know you'll shout 10 times. Walking down a street. Walk for 5 blocks. You have a clear endpoint. Emptying a box of 10 items. For each of the 10 items in this box, take it out. Key idea. Iterating over a sequence like a list of items, a range of numbers, or characters in a word where the end is clearly defined. While loop. Think of a while loop like doing something repeatedly until a certain condition is no longer true. When to use it? You use a while loop when you don't know exactly how many times you need to repeat, but you know a condition that must be met for the repetition to continue. The loop keeps going as long as that condition is true. How it works. You tell it, keep doing this as long as this specific situation is true. It checks the situation before each repetition. If it's true, it does the action. If it's false, it stops. Analogy. Stirring sugar into coffee. Keep stirring while the sugar hasn't dissolved. You don't know how many stirs it will take, just that you stop when the condition dissolved sugar is met. Playing a game level. Keep playing while you still have lives. You don't know how many turns that will be. Waiting for a bus. Keep waiting while the bus hasn't arrived. Key idea. Repeating an action until a specific condition becomes false. Simple comparison. Feature for loop while loop. Pipe dash 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 pipe dash 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 pipe dash 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 pipe. When to use when you know the number of iterations when you don't know the iterations but have a condition. Control typically based on a counter or sequence based on a condition being true false. Common use iterating over lists, ranges, arrays repeating until user input, a flag changes, etc. Pipe. Risk less risk of infinite loops usually higher risk of infinite loops if condition never becomes false. In essence, if you're counting, use a for loop. If you're waiting for something to happen, use a while loop.